These heartbreaking images are coming in from Venezuela. At least 164 people have been killed after two powerful earthquakes struck the country. A state of emergency has now been declared as rescue teams race against time to find survivors. And the acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, has warned that the death toll is likely to rise. Now, the earthquakes struck with little warning. Buildings came crashing down, roads cracked, power networks went down. The country's main airport was forced to shut as well. Amid the twisted rubble of a collapsed building, a woman can be seen trapped beneath the debris, desperately waving for help. Surrounded by the wreckage, she struggles to make her presence known. This is the moment a house collapsed on the outskirts of Caracas, sending people scrambling for safety. People watched in shock as walls went down behind them, exposing homes and furniture to the street. Huge clouds of dust rose above several neighborhoods. The scale of the destruction then became clear. For many Venezuelans, the disaster struck when they were least expecting it. People were at home with their families, enjoying a public holiday, marking Venezuela's independence struggle. But what was meant to be a day of remembrance quickly turned into a day of chaos. The first earthquake struck off the coast near the town of Moron. Less than a minute later, a second and even stronger 7.5 magnitude quake hit nearby. The gap between the two earthquakes was just 40 seconds, and since then, authorities have reported at least 20 aftershocks, keeping residents on edge. Rescue workers are using heavy equipment and power tools to cut through mountains of debris. Across the capital, people have been searching for collapsed buildings and damaged streets for missing loved ones. Following government advice, thousands spent the night outdoors or inside their vehicles. Many streets are now occupied, mainly by ambulances, fire engines, and rescue crews. Even in buildings that remain standing, daily life has been severely disrupted. Gas supplies have been suspended to prevent leaks and possible explosions. Many homes are without safe drinking water. Internet services remain patchy, making it difficult for families to contact their relatives. The communication breakdown has added to the anxiety of millions trying to reach loved ones from abroad. Venezuela sits near several fault lines, but major earthquakes are relatively uncommon compared to other parts of Latin America. These tremors are among the strongest to hit the country in more than a century. The shaking was felt far beyond Venezuela's borders, situated in parts of Brazil's Amazon region, nearly 1,700 kilometers from Caracas. Meanwhile, Marco Rubio said that the United States is immediately deploying rescue teams and emergency aid at the direction of President Donald Trump. Several other governments have also offered assistance as international support begins to arrive. Now let's hear from some of the people who witnessed the disaster unfold. Many are still trying to process what happened and, of course, make sense of the chaos that they experienced. Their accounts offer a first-hand glimpse into the fear, confusion, and devastation that followed.
I was here when I managed to get dressed. He helped me, and all the walls were cracked. We managed to open the door however we could. There was a cloud of smoke that wouldn't let us see. And when we went downstairs, the scene was like a horror movie. We had to climb over the rubble and everything, the building superintendent with the baby and all the neighbors coming down. But from that building, I only saw that one family got out.
Here we feel awful. It's the first time we've experienced anything like this. I was sleeping, and when I woke up, I saw that my house was literally moving, the tanks were falling, the water jug fell, some dishes broke. And well, we had to get my grandfather out. He's already in his 90s, and we're waiting out on the street to see if things calm down so we can go back inside.
People were more worried because they felt the mall was going to collapse. It literally felt like everything was going to crumble. There was no way to get to a ladder. I mean, there was absolutely no chance to do anything. Everyone was just waiting for the building to fall on top of us, and that's how I felt too. I lay down, like you can see in the video. I leaned against the railing, and I thought, well, I was worried about the roof.
I'm reporting here from my apartment in Caracas, Venezuela, where an earthquake just shook the entire building minutes ago. It's the heaviest quake I felt in Venezuela, and just glasses fell to the floor. As you can see behind me, neighbors are coming down to the streets, and it's still unclear the intensity of the quake, but we are continuing to report as this unravels.